lights out, and we are racing here in this crucial Qatar Grand Prix. Martin missed the start. He got massive wheel spin on the Prima Prama Ducati. He's under pressure here from Quartararo and
leading.
from Bezzecchi, and Bagnaia has made the dream launch. It was a horror show for Martin as he feared off the line. Martin's going to come through the first sector. He's down in the 8th or 9th place. A shocker for the man second in the standings.
That couldn't have gone much worse for Jorge Martin, and that's how many of his practice starts went earlier on in the weekend. Both Prima Prama Ducatis went backwards. Jorge Martin is in 8th position.
Here is Jorge Martin, look at that, he lights up the rear tyre. His motorcycle, that Ducati, well, it pivoted right, it pivoted left, just no momentum, no drive grip whatsoever. Oh, listen to that as he just got massive wheel spin, trying to throw 300 horsepower through that Michelin rear tyre. Alex Marquez fires on the inside of his Gresini Ducati teammate, Di Giannantonio. So Alex Marquez then now up into P3.
Well,
that was Zarco. That was Zarco. Now that is a big bonus. That is a big plus for Martin. That's one position gained. Didn't even have to fight for it.
Yeah, could have done with Johan Zarco slotting in ahead of Maverick Vinales there to at least protect him from that Aprilia. So Martin now up into 7th place.
Di Giannantonio now on the inside, really toughing it out with Alex Marquez. The two Gresini Ducatis exchanging at least the same paintwork, and it's Digia that's now back up into P3. Marc Marquez said last night, in this very situation, down the 6-gear start-finish straight, he was a sitting duck, and here he goes again. Nothing that Marquez can do about that. The speed differential is, for want of a better word, embarrassing between the Honda and the Ducati, and Martin just eases on through. Absolutely powerless there was Marquez. Nothing he could do about that whatsoever. So that's Digia getting aggressive on the inside of Luca Marini, properly picks up the pole man, and now he could lose 3rd place as well as he comes into the clutches of Alex Marquez. So Di Giannantonio is getting his elbows out here, isn't he?
Well, Alex Marquez is certainly trying to get involved with Luca Marini, and that might open the door for Brad Binder, who are riding on board with now to move through into 4th place.
Here comes Brad Binder, a second in the Grand Prix here last year. That is tight, there's not much room there, but Binder found it. He had to be millimetre perfect there, and he certainly was. A South African then now, up into 3rd place.
When he came here on Thursday, Fabio Di Giannantonio said, I'm here to try and win this race, as Maverick Vinales finally gets the move done on Marc Marquez. I think many eyebrows were raised when Di Giannantonio made those comments. Well, he's living up to billing at the moment. Look at Jorge Martin's pace though, Matt, at 154.4. For reference, Enea Bastianini in 13th was doing a 53.7. This could get so much worse yet for Martin.
Sitting duck. He's a passenger on that Prima Ducati right now, isn't he? But now Marc Marquez, he picks off Jorge Martin. Nobody saw this one coming. He picks up Marquez coming through turn 6. Here is Quartararo, that's lovely. That's just what Martin did to Bagnaia at turn 10 in the sprint last night. This was a beautiful move, wasn't it, by Quartararo on the inside of Martin, who just has a good look to see where the Yamaha man is on his inside. You can see there was a shake of the head from Martin. He's livid. Yeah, he's getting frustrated here. He knows the body blow that's coming his way here. At the moment, he's down in 9th place.
Yeah, Miller's passed him.
Oh, this is just not what we were expecting at all, is it? Not what Martin was hoping for. 25 points now would be Bagnaia's commanding advantage going into the final Grand Prix. Bagnaia, as it stands, is stretching out a massive 18 points here tonight over Jorge Martin. We thought this could be important. We thought this could be a pivotal night in the championship, Lewis, and that's exactly how it's turning out to be.
So this is where Miller went through, and is this going to be a mistake from Martin? Look, he just couldn't get the Prima Ducati turned in to turn number 1.
The pace is hotting up here. The beast coming here later on. Zarco has gone through then. I guess he has no choice.
Well,
no option.
He's catching
Although
them.
he runs in wide though now through that first corner. This just gives you an indication of Jorge Martin's struggles out here tonight in Qatar. Bastianini, the quickest man on circuit with a 153.285.
Here comes Bastianini then, making it even worse, piling on the agony for Jorge Martin. That relegates him down to 10th place now.
We have the mapping 8 message back on screens.
Did you know his
that has
history?
been the message going to Fabio Di Giannantonio. Cast your minds back, Andrea Dovizioso, Jorge Lorenzo. That was the crystal clear message to Lorenzo to back off and just protect Andrea Dovizioso late on 5 or 6 seasons ago. Mapping 8, though, the message to Fabio Di Giannantonio.
And will he heed that warning? Because Fabio Di Giannantonio might not be in MotoGP next year, so this might be his only hope.
Here comes Fabio Di Giannantonio on the inside. He squeezes through on Bagnaia. Bagnaia trying to get him on the cutback, taking full risk here. The world champion throwing it all on the line.
There's something about this Lusail circuit in Gresini, aren't there? Bagnaia's fighting back though. He
Oh,
didn't
dearie
make
me!
contact.
Bagnaia's going to the car park. This is just a battle he did not need to be engaging.
Take the 20 points,
did
Pecco.
not need to be raging. You've got to admire the risk being taken here by Pecco Bagnaia. It's going to be fascinating to hear what he thinks about this battle by Di Giannantonio. Di Giannantonio's gone for the individual glory here, hasn't he?
I've got to say, put yourself in Fabio Di Giannantonio's shoes.
Whoa.
He does not have a job for next season, and he wants to win this race. That was how close it was. Bagnaia's already shaking his head as he runs off into the runoff area. He must be aware of where Jorge Martin is in this race.
In awesome fashion by Fabio Di Giannantonio. His first MotoGP victory, but so many talking points post-race. He got the dashboard message, mapping 8, but Fabio Di Giannantonio takes a fantastic victory in a classic Qatar MotoGP race. Pecco Bagnaia takes the checkered flag in second place on a miserable night for Martin, who will take the checkered flag. Here he comes over the line. Has he held off Marc Marquez? He certainly has, but Martin, a season worst Sunday of 10th spot,
Straight to the rear
immediately
tyre.
glares down at that rear tyre as we see 21 points now dividing Bagnaia and
looks happy with
Martin
second.
in the World Championship. Bagnaia does take second place. He comes over to congratulate Fabio Di Giannantonio. I think Bagnaia there on the big screen has seen the final classification, and that's why he was celebrating so hard, as he knows that Martin was 10th. There were successive fastest laps of that Grand Prix on the last 2 laps for the brilliant Enea Bastianini. A 1:52.978 sees him take 8th place. But it's back-to-back Qatar Grand Prix victories for Gresini Ducati. Fabio Di Giannantonio, well, there was floods of tears inside that garage last year after the Beast's emotional victory, and there will be more. A first MotoGP success then for 25-year-old Fabio Di Giannantonio. Jorge Martin comes into the Pramac Ducati garage. It was obvious what his issues were in that Grand Prix. Would not want to be his Michelin tyre technician at this point of the Lusail International Circuit weekend. The shutters, the garage doors come straight down. He glared, didn't he? He'd only just taken the checker flag when he looked down to his left-hand side to see what had happened with that Michelin rear tyre. It is now firmly in the hands of Pecco Bagnaia. 21 points clear in the World Championship. Of course, he'd have loved to have taken just that second Sunday victory in the last 8. But Fabio Di Giannantonio, he sat in the media centre on Thursday and said, I'm here to win this Qatar Grand Prix.
He walked the walk.
And he has been true to his word. Absolutely brilliant scenes here down in Parc Ferme. Qatar Grand Prix winner Fabio Di Giannantonio, who currently is status unemployed for 2024.
Drink it in, Fabio. Digia is a MotoGP winner.
For more MotoGP action, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you at the races!